942, welcome back. First responders and veterans go through some of the toughest times in their line of work. 942, welcome back. First responders and veterans go through some of the toughest times in their line of work, often taking a toll on their mental health. Next week, a walk will be taking place in an effort to support their mental health. Here this morning is founder of Stomping Out the Stigma and Director of Community Relations for Beachway Therapy Center, Tim Roberto, and Green Acres Fire Chief, Brian Fuller. Thank you both for being here this morning to talk about this very important topic. So tell us more about the walk.
Well, it's to raise awareness for the mental health needs of our first responders and our veterans that may be struggling in silence.
Yeah. And so why is it that first responders need confidentiality when it comes to their mental health help?
You know, there's a stigma behind it. You know, you look at first responders and you expect them to be the toughest and the bravest, and they are. But then, you know, they have difficulties, you know, expressing that they might be suffering from some mental health issues, some PTSD, and some of the things that they see on the job over their career, which they witness on average what a person would see in their 30-year lifetime. They might see it in 2 to 3 years, that kind of trauma.
Yeah, and so I can imagine that confidentiality and that it's a very vulnerable space, and so they need that.
Yep.
So where does Palm Beach County rank in Florida in terms of death by suicide by first responders?
Yeah, Yasmin, unfortunately, Palm Beach County ranks #1 in the state of Florida.
Wow.
With first responder suicide, followed by Broward County. And so South Florida, we're experiencing some trouble, and we got to help them.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So speaking of help, what can the community do to help? How can we step in and support the cause?
Well, we can start helping each other by changing the conversation. You know, mental health is a serious contender, as we know in today's society. And you know, does a job you know, contribute to somebody's mental health, somebody's trauma, somebody's struggles? Yes. But it's also a human condition, and we need to start separating those two. We need to start focusing on the human condition and the needs of you know, of people, and especially our first responders. They're always there for us, and it's my duty, I feel, to be there for them. You know, in their time of need as a human condition.
Yes.
Yeah, because all the articles I read and all the stats I look at, you know, 33% of first responders struggle with trauma, struggle with some type of mental health condition. They're seeing stuff that normally people don't see, and it's over and over and over.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you know, I can't talk about it. So I just, you know, Stomping Out the Stigma and Beachway, we're here for them. Stomping Out the Stigma created a space to where things were 100% confidential.
Yeah.
And Beachway Therapy over the last 17 years has formulated a level of care for mental health that is unbelievable.
Really important work for people who are extremely important to our community and to our well-being, right? So how will the walk start? Where will it start and where will it end?
Tim's going to start walking from our main station, Station 94 in Green Acres on Jog Road, and he's going to walk to Beachway Therapy Center. It's all to raise awareness about first responders and mental health issues, and it's just, we're going to support them along the way, and then we're going to have a nice presentation at Beachway Therapy Center that afternoon and invite members from the community and first responders there to listen.
A lot of advocacy. You know, as a Marine, you know, I was always training for war, right? I was always training for war, but the greatest battle I had was in my head. Wow. And unfortunately, it took its toll on me while I was a member of the United States Marine Corps. So today, you know, life always changes, right? The only constant in life is change. And this is where I'm at right now. And it's a wonderful way for me to contribute to somebody else's mental health, that maybe not have to face some of the consequences that I had to face. So.
Wow, coming from that personal perspective.